Well, I want to wish everybody here a happy new year. I love this time of year because it gives people it gives you to me it gives you a clean slate. Okay, whatever happened in the last year, whether it was maybe you're feeling a little too secure in what you're doing, or maybe you had a few things go wrong. Well, guess what? It's a brand new year, a brand new slate. Let's kick this thing into gear. And for this company, as I've told many of you over the last few weeks, I have never seen momentum in any business that I've been in that is good as or as strong as it is in this company right now. I think 2023 is going to be just an incredible opportunity for all of you. I think we're going to, over the next 4 months especially, which historically January, February, March, and April are huge months for network marketing. And we're just going to explode this thing. We have some momentum going on in several countries. As I said just a few minutes ago, I want to congratulate Ursula Jacobs. She just became a 1K affiliate in her first month. We have a few other people on here who have done very, very well. We have Elizabeth Gathua on here right now, who has reached 25K in her career with this company. She's gone through a lot of obstacles that were in her way, and her momentum is growing again. So everything is going the way we want it. We just need to take it and run with it. So I'm going to start off today. I'm going to start off my normal way for people who are new here, giving you a little bit of an idea of what we're doing. And then I'm going to be very straightforward with you about maybe challenges that we may encounter as we're growing this business. So again, welcome everyone. If you don't have a paper and pen, please get one because there might be a few notes here you'll want to write down. The reason we normally do these calls is because I feel that we need to create a family atmosphere. We need to have a support team for those days when things maybe don't go perfect for you. Well, you got people to reach out to. I'll tell you from my own history that a lot of people that come on these calls, you eventually get to meet them at a convention or whatever, and they become dear friends. So this is kind of the beginning of getting to know people, getting to see people that come on here on a regular basis. Maybe speak to some of them on some of our support groups, become friends with them through that, and then eventually meet them and get to know them at an even more personal level. So again, family atmosphere, and then we want to keep you up to date and informed. Okay, there is any network marketing company worth its salt is not sitting still. It is always evolving. It's always increasing in value. And no company that I've met with or ever worked with does that more than My Daily Choice. We are constantly reinventing ourselves. In just the last year, we've gone to our new back office 2.0 with all kinds of new technical stuff that's been added. It's lucky we have a owner who is such a genius at that kind of stuff. And we've added product lines. We've added products to some of the lines. There's that we have monthly specials, we have daily specials, we have all kinds of different things that you want to stay on top of. So again, that's the other reason we do that. Okay, as you heard me say many times, communication is key, and because of that, I want to give you guys every opportunity to be able to reach out to me, reach out to the people in the support groups. So I'll start that off by giving you my personal phone number, which is the +1 802-343-9075. That's the +1 802-343-9075. You can reach me by regular phone call or text message. You can reach me by WhatsApp, Telegram, Viber. I do ask you, because I'm on the phone so much, between the phone and Zoom calls, there's many days that I'll be doing this 10, 12, 14 hours a day. And so if you call me and I'm in the middle of that, I won't be able to answer. So if you really want to speak to me in person, just text me first or send me a WhatsApp message or whatever and tell me that, and we can schedule a time so I can chat with you. Okay. But again, I just want you to have access to me. The next thing I want to share my screen for a second here. And I want to show you, this is a website that was created for me by one of my associates, Barbara. And let's see, we got some people trying to get on. And the reason I show you this is, guys, this is a website I created for myself, and I use it to build my team. But why I give it to you is the fact I want you to be able to download anything that you see on this screen to help you. You know, don't necessarily send your people to this screen. Feel free to come in here and look at all the resources I'm about to show you and use them. Copy and paste them. Put them wherever you want to put them. Send them to people directly from here through WhatsApp, whatever you want to do. But bottom line is, I want you to have even more support than what you might get from the back office My Daily Choice. And that's saying, My Daily Choice's back office is incredible. So this is just an additional thing I want you to have. If you have people that want to know a little bit more about me, there's a spot in here talking about me. This opportunity blog keeps you up to date on what's going on as far as, we got boot camp coming up in February in Dallas. You can keep track of stuff. We just had this incredible training by Mark Cassetta on the 28th. You can go in your back office and pull that down and watch that later. You can come over here to products, and if you click on product and then click down through, you can pull up one of the products, go directly to it. It'll show you everything you need to know about FFX. Okay, so the Fuel Factor X. Here's a short video, a longer video. There's a slideshow you can use to present. There's all kinds of frequently asked questions, testimonials, more information. If you have people that want, the type of people, the more engineering type that want to have more documentation, there's plenty of documentation you can give them so that they'll feel comfortable about buying from you. And it also will make you look more like the expert because you have all the information at your fingertips. Then I want to go to connections. And for connections, this again is, I show this each week. I show it primarily for the newbies, the new people coming in, because this again gives you a lot of information. You can subscribe to my email list. We haven't done anything with that yet, but eventually I want to have, we're talking very soon about having a blog or something along that line, so we can keep everybody up to date. If you want to chat with me on Telegram, you can come here and click on Telegram. If you haven't got Telegram downloaded, you can go over here to the Telegram application and download it. Then you can join the Dale Franklin Network Telegram channel to keep up to date. You can join the My Daily Choice latest news channel, which gets you information right from corporate. Or you can join our new fun chat on Telegram, which again is the group. Basically, it starts with Chris Robinson, one of the first affiliates in the company, and it's his whole team. So a lot of interaction there. Then if you want to, you can go to WhatsApp. And you can come here and you can join the Dale's information funnel, the My Daily Choice Africa 2.0 funnel. You can keep up to date on special Africa notices. You can come here and connect with me on Facebook. Friend request me on Facebook, and I'll be glad to add you. And you can keep up to date with me on there. Then we have Facebook groups that you can join. You can join the again, the Fun Biz Opportunity Group, the House of Brands, the training group, Team We, which is Chris Bailey. Chris Bailey and I do, let me just add those people real quick. Yeah, there we go. The Team We, that's Chris Bailey. Chris Bailey works with me every Thursday. We do an opportunity presentation for FFX on a Zoom call, and that gives you a chance to see his team and connect with his team. And then Win Testimonials and Win Network. Again, that's some other stuff that comes through Chris Robinson's team and gives us, these testimonials. When people ask you about the products, if you go to the Win Testimonials, there, I'll guarantee you, there's a testimonial on every product that you could think of. And these are very personal, very emotional testimonials that let people see how valued our products are. YouTube, I'm going to come back to. Here, I want to come down to Zoom meetings. Here's a place where you guys can go and check every day if you want and see what's coming up for that day. Mondays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States, which is 7 p.m. Kenya time. They have the fun power push, which is 30 minutes of, that's broken down in 5-minute and 10-minute increments on things you need to do each day to help build your business. And you can do it right along with them. There's the link. There's the password, so you can go right to it. There's my Monday with Dale call we're having right now. Here's the Freedom Unified Network. That's what FUN stands for. They have their International Monday call. Again, that's late here. So it's if you're going to watch it in say Kenya, you're going to have to be up at 5 a.m. to watch that. But again, we record all these, and so there's a chance you can watch them later on. Wednesdays, another power push. Thursdays, as I said, Chris and I do a FFX presentation for the fuel additive, and you can come on there, bring your prospects. There's the Zoom link. There's the password for that. Jermaine Johnson does a global opportunity showcase in the evenings here in the United States, which will be, like I said, early in the morning for you guys. But most of the stuff does get recorded, so if you miss it, you can always see it later. Then Friday there's another power push, and on Saturday, one Saturday every month we have a Super Saturday. It's 90 minutes long. We have a lot of leaders come on, and everybody tends to do like a 10 to 20 minute training. Some are 10 to 12 minutes. Depends on how many people we have on there. But basically, it's 90 minutes of a lot of intense training. It's fantastic. It's high energy. I've never had anybody that's gone to a Super Saturday who said they wish they hadn't gone. It's usually the second Saturday of the month. This one coming up here in January is going to be January 14th. And again, you want to try to be on that. This particular one we have this month is going to feature Candice Berg Davis. If you haven't heard her speak, that's worth the price of admission right there. She is incredible. She has incredible energy. She has incredible leadership abilities, and she's an incredible speaker. So you certainly want to try to make that. Let's go back up here to the YouTube and click on that. This brings you to basically everything that I've ever done over the last 3 years is recorded here. Okay, so you can go and look at videos, and you'll see there's hundreds of them. Okay, talking about everything from opportunity presentations to, in some of them with subtitles in different languages, to training on the back office, training on relationship mapping, which is a way to build your team using Facebook. There's a tremendous amount of information here. If you don't want to just scroll through the whole thing, you can go to playlists. Playlist breaks it down into categories. Okay, so you have training, you have Spanish subtitles, opportunity presentations, you have comp plan, you have all the Mondays with Dale. You have some of my guest appearance, people that come onto my calls. You can listen to all the different guests. All the Super Saturdays. The one I'm the proudest of, though, is this first one, Starter Set. Let's view the full playlist. Here are 8 videos, and I jokingly say, if you got in this business and all of a sudden everybody that you knew that was helping you in this business suddenly disappeared, you could build your business just using this. Okay. So again, I think this is an incredible way to learn, an incredible way to present. You have the first video is 38 minutes long. It's Chris Bailey doing a full opportunity presentation. Then there's the next one is an FFX opportunity presentation by Chris and myself that we did about a little over a month ago. And that one tells you everything. I talk about the product. He talks about the business model. So you can just copy these. Anyone that you want to copy it and paste it into a WhatsApp message, a Facebook message, whatever you want to do, and send it to your prospects, and they can take it from there. So for anybody, as I said earlier, who's afraid that maybe letting people come to my page, you might lose them, and I might enroll them. Number one, I would never do that. Number two, if it did happen by mistake and you told me about it, I'd get it fixed. But the bottom line is, you don't feel comfortable with that, just take and copy and paste. Copy and paste. Take everything that's in here and use it to your best abilities on your own personal message board. High Life Travel. If you want to know more about the High Life Travel, Aaron Parker does an incredible job in 20 minutes to tell you how our travel portal works and how people can save a ton of money on that. The next one, this is a training on the back office, which helps you to understand all the valuable, once you join, you're going to get your website, and you're going to have the front, what we call the front office of the website, which is where your customers go to buy and to learn about the products. And then if you if you want to be trained, you go to your back office, and there's you'll just be amazed. There is all kinds of videos, there's all kinds of brochures and written information, everything you need that you can download and use to build your business. Okay. Relationship mapping, as I said earlier, this is a way to build your business using Facebook and basically having all your friends that know each other work together, create a really strong bond while they're building. And then we have the compensation plan. We have a short version of it by Chris Robinson. And then we have a two-part, really in-depth planning, a compensation training with Chris Bailey. He talks, in the first one, he talks about the overall value of our comp plan. In the second part, he really breaks it down on how you can optimize income for yourself and your team. So again, this is, to me, this is everything you need to build your business. If you didn't do anything else, if you just go with this, you can build and build very quickly. So having said all that, let me get out of that again. So that, again, we have that. Then we have Jody Levanway, another one of my associates. She sends out on all those message boards I just showed you. She sends out every night a list of what's happening the next day. If corporate's having a special meeting, if there's special trainings going on, whatever it is, we're going to keep you involved. If you, when people call me up and say, hey, I don't know what's going on, after I know that they've been on one of these trainings, you know, it really says a lot about that person, because I do my best to give you every bit of information you can to be able to stay up on top of what's going on. Okay. So if you're not on top of it and you've been on one of these calls and seen what we offer, then that's on you, because it's there. Let me see what's next here. A couple other things about meetings. As I said, we have Monday with Dale. We have Thursday, the FFX opportunity presentations. Those are the ones we do on a set time, but we do meetings by appointment basically anytime you want. Okay. And basically, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit more in just a few minutes, but you basically, the ideal situation here, guys, is for you to send out one of the videos so that your prospect can see what's going on. That kind of quantifies them as whether they want to be interested in being an affiliate, want to be a customer, or they're not interested, and so we're not wasting their time. So you send them a video. The ideal one for the African market, I suggest right now, is the one on FFX that I just showed you in the dalefranklin.net. Copy and paste that, send that to all your people. Then once you get that done, you're going to set them up in a group with WhatsApp. You, them, and one of your upline leaders, or me, or whoever you want to have them talk to. Once they've seen the video and they've quantified it, then you get them to contact with an upline leader. Let them on WhatsApp, and let them kind of talk back and forth with them, answer some questions like that. And then the third part is basically meeting with them on a Zoom call or a phone call, so you have that personal touch, and allow your leaders to close them. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in just a minute, but so again, we can do that anytime. You can schedule appointments anytime you want. Then we have, if you have a person who's already in network marketing in another company, who's making at least $100,000 a year in the industry, and there's a lot of them out there. For whatever reason, they might be looking for a new company. Maybe the one they're in is in financial trouble, or got beat up by the pandemic, or whatever the reason, or maybe they're just not happy with the comp plan. Whatever the reason is, if they want, and they're making that kind of money, we can get them flown to corporate office and meet with the owner of our company and let him walk them through everything, so they feel like they've been wined and dined a little more. And it gives you a chance to really, really impress somebody who's already in the business. Okay. Then, as I mentioned earlier, we have our Super Saturdays, second Saturday of every month. We have a couple boot camps coming up. We've got a boot camp coming up in Budapest, Hungary, on the 27th through the 30th of January. We have one in Dallas, Texas, in the United States, coming up on February 10th through the 12th. We have one coming up in Australia, but the time is to be determined as of right now. We have masterminds, which the next mastermind, I believe, is in May. That's for 50K affiliates and above. That's the chance for them to go and really be wined and dined down in the Mexican Riviera this time. And again, for really, if you're able to get to that and qualify for that, you get to hang out with all the top leaders and really learn a lot about this business. And then we have our convention, which comes out annually, usually in the fall. So just want to bring that up. All right. Now I'm going to get real here. This call, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for the first call of the year. And, you know, anybody who's been with me for very long knows that I'm not one of those classic hype guys. I'm not one of those speakers that can change somebody's mind who is already made up their mind. I am again, I try to be straightforward. I try to always tell you what's real, and I want you to know when we have good things coming and when we maybe had a few things that we're struggling with. So again, I call this day Overcoming Challenges in 2023. With growth is going to come obstacles. And I said when I first got on this call, we are seeing momentum in the African continent right now like we have never seen before. Okay, there are a lot of countries that are either coming on board, or we've been talking to people that are either big networkers and are getting ready to come on board to take over that country, or I've been lucky enough to meet with a lot of people that were country managers in other companies that have finally seen the light, and they don't want to be a country manager anymore. They want to be an affiliate, but they have all those contacts that they got as becoming when they were a country manager. So what they bring to the table is not only the fact they have a lot of people that are already successful that they know and that trust them, but they also understand everything that needs to be done in that particular country to get it open, because they had to do it for somebody else. So because of that, right now I'm working with 4 or 5 different people that are previous country managers, previous leaders and have big groups and things like that. And so we're trying to open other countries and do the best we can there. Now, I'm an affiliate just like you guys. So I'm constantly trying to build, but I'm also, because of the way we're set up here in Africa and we're trying to open other countries and stuff like that, I'm spending a lot of my time helping corporate see the value in the African market. So currently, we've got first thing I got here is payment and commissions. Okay, everywhere we're open right now, I think we're in pretty good shape there. We have Kenya. We just got iPay in Kenya. That's working really well. People are able to pay with their M-Pesa card, and that's slowly gonna, over the next few months, is going to envelop a lot of other countries, including it's already in Uganda, but it's going to include Tanzania. It's going to include South Africa, different countries. So we're working on that. So that we're progressing on that, and we're also working on a couple other options. I've been working with Ada in Nigeria. She's working on another company that they've already got approved in Nigeria, so make sure they can get paid and pay easily. And that's another company that we can expand to other countries, and it's already in many countries. So we're working on that. So I just want you to know, if you're having any struggles in that type of situation, depending on what country you're in, we're working on it. We're not just working on it, something that's going to happen years from now. We're working on things that can happen in the next 30 to 60 days. So that's that. The next thing is delivery. All right. Right now, Kenya, we've got Kenya down with the Fargo delivery service, courier service. That is working really, really well. People are getting their product for FFX very quickly. And Nigeria is doing very well with that. And we're working on everything else. Right now, the struggle I have right now is in South Africa. South Africa is slower than I want it to be. And I'm working very hard. I was on a call just before this call. I'm working very, very hard trying to get things done in South Africa so you guys can also get your product very quickly. and we're doing that on a couple different ways. You know, we're some of the stuff is being shipped from Kenya to South Africa. Some of it's being from Nigeria. We're trying to figure out which one of those is most efficient right now, so we can make sure we get it to you. I'm also working. I hope by the end of this month that I will have stock in South Africa, where they can be delivered right from your country directly to you within just 2 or 3 days. Okay. And so I'm telling you all this again. I want you to know if you put an order in and it's maybe 10 days late and you haven't gotten it yet or whatever, we're working on that. The holidays didn't help us any, but we're working on this thing and we're trying to make it happen. If you run into problems with this and you have people who've gone, say 10 days, 2 weeks, and they haven't got their product, and they have, first of all, you want them to reach out to corporate and send them an email and see if they respond. If they don't, then you need to reach out to one of your leaders or reach out to me. But again, exhaust the first part first. Make sure your stuff is you know where your stuff is coming from and all that, if you can. And I'll show you in just a minute where to find that information. But the bottom line is, wherever I see a major obstacle, I'm working on that very diligently right now because I want this thing to run smooth. And once we get all this done, then the growth pattern will just explode from there. So again, I'm trying to be very straight with you right now. We also have, like I said, delivery is working really good in Kenya and Nigeria. We got some possible stockists that are coming on in several countries, which are actually business people that will actually buy product and have it in their country, and then they will distribute it kind of as a revolving inventory while they're waiting for the next load. So that's being done too. Next thing I want to take you to your back office. Share my screen again. And I want to go to, where are we? Here we go. This is a back office that I created for my wife, so we'd have a place to train people. This is for people who are just getting started. Everybody gets a website. You have your website is probably looks similar to this. Depending on what country you're in, it may show different because it'll show what you can sell. But I want you to log into the back office. You see the login up here? Click on the login. That's going to bring down this screen. You put in your username, or put in your password, and then log in. That's as simple as it is. That's why I'm always telling people when you're signing people up, make sure to tell them to remember what their username was, because that will be their website. So their website will be mydailychoice.com/ whatever the username is. That's their website. Okay. Remember your username and then also remember your password. Write them down somewhere where you won't forget them, because I spent an awful lot of time, and corporate spends an awful lot of time basically opening up people's back office because they forgot what their password was. Okay. So write those things down so you know them. That takes a lot of stress off corporate so they can help you on other things. Once you're in here, if you look up here in the blue ribbon at the top, right above my wife's name, Kathy, it says my affiliate back office. You click on that and it's going to take you to the back office. What's funny here, I'm just going to be real quick about this. You see over here, this $4,200 in commissions. I have never promoted this page. We did not make this page to sell product. We didn't sell it. This was just for training. And because it was a website and it was online, okay, like everybody else's, we have made $4,200 in commission just by accident off of this website, just because it was there. So I think that's amazing. So I want to just look at my notes here and see. Okay, a couple of things I want to show you. First thing I want to show you is holding tank. A lot of you have been, if you sign new people up, new customers and new affiliates, they go directly to your holding tank. So let's see here. If you see here, my team, you got all this stuff listed at the bottom. It says holding tank. If you go to the holding tank, I don't have anything in there right now. But when you sign somebody up, unless you have have your placement set up for left or right, it's probably going to go in. It's probably the default is going to take you to a holding tank. So when you sign somebody up and you don't see them in your binary, it's a good chance the reason you don't see them is because they're in your holding tank and you haven't placed them yet. Okay, so if you click here and you come here, you'll see that the person you signed up, you'll see their name, you'll see the PV will tell you whether or not they bought a kit or not. It'll show their user ID number, and then you can come over here and you have up to 7 days to place them. And there's some strategy to that too. But when you're first getting started, I just say, go ahead and place them. But you can place them on your right leg or your left leg. You can actually place them anywhere you want. Once you get a little more sophisticated at it, if you're going to do that, you should probably reach out to me or one of your leaders to know how to do that. But bottom line is you can either have them put on your left or right leg. If you don't do that and they sit here, after 7 days, your back office, your website will actually place them automatically on your weaker leg. Okay, so I have had several people recently that said, "Hey, I signed somebody up and I don't see them." Well, the reason you don't see them is probably because they're in your holding tank and you got to place them. Okay. A couple more things about this is when you're signing people up, if try to get them to sign up on their own phone or their own computer device. Okay. If you start signing everybody up using your own device, your own computer, your own phone, so the company sees the same IP address going across the screen over and over and over again, they're probably going to lock you out. Okay. So there's two things that can get you locked out really easy. One is again using the same computer IP address over and over again. You can do one or two. You can do a couple now, and next month do one or whatever, so it won't pick up on it. But if their computers see that you've signed up 4, 5, 6 people all using your computer, it's going to lock you out. It's going to lock them out. Okay. And if you try to pay for more than one account with the same credit card number, it's going to lock you out. Okay. Now, those are things we can get fixed, but the bottom line is each time that happens, that's more stress we're putting on the system as far as reaching out and asking people to switch things. So the best thing to do is try to have everybody sign up on their own phone or their own computer device, iPad, whatever. Have them try, if that's all possible, have them do that, and we won't have any problems there. And then again, as far as payment, if you're in a place where you're in a country where everybody's using credit cards, which is some countries can and some countries can't, if they don't have a credit card, ask them to get one, or ask them to load a debit card or a gift card or something so that they can join through that. You can also use a credit wallet, and you can basically buy their kit for them, and then they can reimburse you with cash or whatever. So there's ways around it, but bottom line, to make life easy, especially as we're just getting started and growing here in certain parts of Africa, try to keep the IP addresses separate. Try to keep the credit card separate. Another thing I want to show you is product ordering. Let's see, where are we? Earnings. Sometimes I have to remember because I don't dig into all this often. Maybe it's up here. Order, there it is. Under my account, order history, you click on that, and it'll pull up everything you need to know about your order. So if you haven't found, you haven't gotten your order and you're wondering where it is, or if you want to call corporate and find out, there's your order number. You're going to want to give them your order number so they know what you're talking about, the date that was ordered. Okay. Or you can click on tracking ID, and tracking ID, as long as it's left corporate, will show you where it is. Okay. So it's really easy for us to do this in the United States. It's a little tougher sometimes, not because in some areas of the world they don't report everything as far as when it goes into a junction. It doesn't get reported, but for the most part, this will help you. The reason I'm showing you this is if before you start reaching out to your uplines and saying, hey, where's my product? Check this first and see if you can figure out where it is. Find out where if it's bottlenecked, find out where it's bottlenecked. If you run into a problem where you need to talk to your upline about this, then please, because I tell you what's going to happen. If you just call up your upline and say, hey, I can't get my product. And then they go and they call me and say, hey, they can't get their product. And then I call corporate and say, hey, they can't get their product. So the next words out of their mouth is, okay, what's the order number? What's the tracking ID? What date did it get shipped? All that stuff. If you don't give us that kind of information, then we can't do anything for you. So always document everything. Always, if you have a problem, send us everything you have. If you have sent a email to corporate, then send us a copy of that email so we can see what was written, what you wrote, how you wrote it, and what the date was. Okay. If they responded and gave you an answer and the answer wasn't fixing anything, make a copy of the response so we'll know when they responded to you, what they said, and we'll also see who that person was usually. So then we know who to go to and say, okay, how come you said this to our person? What's holding it up? So again, document everything so that we know what. So we go to war for you. Okay, we can make sure things are being done. So give us the tools we need to get that all done. Let's see. Talked about that. And again, I always show along the same line as far as documentation. Take screenshots. Send us the actual email you sent. Whatever you got, send it to us so we have the weapons to help you if we need to. As I wrote here, corporate will always ask for proof of the problem. If we don't have it, then it's hard for me to do much for you. Okay, I've got all that. So let's get out of that. See if there's anything more I want to do here. Okay, get out of that. All right, so took you through that. The next thing I want to talk about is what I'm trying to do in addition to everything I've already talked about. And I'm talking to corporate. I got a message in the Josh Swagel, the owner, and I'm trying to get us a designated customer support person for Africa. Now, I asked for one earlier and they said, well, your market hasn't grown big enough yet, so you need one. And I went back with, well, you've got other markets like that, so let me share one with, if you got somebody who's handling Taiwan and Thailand, well, let me have part of their time too. So I'm working on having us a designated support person. If we have one person the buck stops with, then you don't get that runaround sometimes you get where somebody you don't know who said what. So if we have our own designated customer support person, it's going to go a long way. Okay, I'm working on getting more countries registered and more products registered. So we're starting out here in Africa with the FFX and the high life travel. Some of the countries we can't do high life travel in yet, but those are the two we're starting with. But what I want to have happen is in certain countries, for instance, I'll use South Africa as an example. I have found out that things have changed in South Africa. It makes it a lot easier to register like CBD oil. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get approval from the company where I can, the leadership I have over there, I can have people that can start registering products right now that we might not actually start selling in that country for maybe 3 months or 4 months or whatever. But what I don't want there to be lag time. I don't want, once we get to the point where, which I have no doubt about, FFX explodes in South Africa and high life travel explodes in South Africa, and all of a sudden I get the green light to add new products. I don't want to have to wait 2 months or 3 months for the government to come to get all their paperwork together. I want to have it already in place so that when they say, Dale, you can start selling CBD oil in South Africa, great. I've got everything all set. I've got the the company's registered, the product's registered, and I've got the taxation plan set up so that everybody's with the South African government is happy with this, and we can start selling it, and I can announce it at my next Monday with Dale. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do. Okay, and the reason I'm telling you all this, when you don't hear, if you hear just rumors always tend to be bad. So I'm trying to tell you what we're doing flat out. I'm telling you the absolute truth of what's going on and what I'm trying to do, so you can see that we have a plan, that I have a plan for us to explode Africa. I have every one of you on this call right now sitting here next year on the first meeting of our 2024. If you put in the effort, I have total belief you're going to be sitting in a totally different financial bracket beyond anything you ever dreamed would come true, because we're that close to be on the cusp of exploding the whole African continent. That's what I truly believe. And that's why I'm trying to get approval for me to be able to do some of the things that normally corporate does, but corporate's dragging their feet on our particular continent because they're so busy everywhere else. The nice thing about the fact that I've had a rapport with Josh Swagel ever since he was 18 years old. He's now in his early 30s. He knows me. He trusts me. And what I'm trying to do right now is prove to him that I have the right people in the right place within Africa to get the information we need to do these type of things. So again, and like I said, not only just registering our company in new countries, but get products into the pre-registration phase. So we got that happening. And the thing that a lot of companies make a mistake, including our company made a mistake with previous leaders, is they didn't do the important things like set things up for taxes. Okay, so that that would hold them up to the end. I want to make sure we have all that stuff approved. So I have a couple great leaders that are working with me in Africa that are helping me, that have been country managers before, know what needs to be done in these different countries. And we can have all this stuff done. So I hope this is exciting for you guys, because I'm excited about the fact that I'm getting the leeway to do this kind of stuff. So what I'm really looking at is over the next four months. I do normally talk about a 90-day growth spurt, but I really think that this particular one is going to be a 4-month deal, because January is a very, very big month for our company. We always have some special deals on April 20th. So I'm just going to incorporate that whole month. So what I'm looking at is between now and the end of April, I believe we will have at least a half a dozen 50Ks, it's 25 and 50Ks in the markets over there. And once we do that, we reach that kind of volume, then that's going to take a lot of pressure off of me and a lot of pressure off some of the leaders, and corporate will come in and take over things. They'll take over, they'll start putting in offices, they'll start putting in warehouses, they'll start taking over a lot of the things that we've kind of had to do. So that gets me excited. And again, our momentum is incredible. So I guess I had a little note here to myself. What did I say? Oh, just to give you an idea of one of the things we are working on, and I'm not going to go into it in all detail right now, but with any luck, by the end of this month, we may have a small office in Nairobi, and that's as far as I'm going to go with that. But that will be the beginning of so many other things. Okay, so again, that's what we're working on, and that's being done by us personally, not corporate, so that I don't have to wait for the bureaucracy. I can just get things done. So we're working on that, and that's just going to be a beginning of other things. So I'm asking you to be a little patient with me. I've been everything I'm telling you is things that I'm working on every single day. I stopped at my tire store. I got that created so that I have so many great leaders in my tire store, as far as my running the business and working in the bays. That my wife and I go in 2 days a week for 4 hours a day. The rest of the time I'm working on this. And at my age, I never expected to be doing as many hours as I am with this. But the thing is, I love it. I enjoy it. So I am putting in 60, 70 hours a week to help you guys grow. So whenever I hear somebody say, hey, I had to put in 10 hours last week. Well, you're not going to get sympathy from me. But the bottom line is this business is about to explode, and you guys should be just beyond yourself with excitement. Let's see what else. It was gone. So again, I wrote myself here. So I got to understand, I'm not only building teams and adding to my affiliate base, but I'm also spending a lot of time helping corporate get things done and helping corporate believe in Africa the way that I believe in it. Now, the last thing I want to say before I call this is I've had a lot of people that don't quite do this the right way. And I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but the procedure for prospecting and enrolling. Okay. Now, some of you I don't have to tell this to, because Jan and Ursula and several of you guys, Elizabeth, you all been enrolling people, doing a fantastic job. But there's a lot of people that want to use me or use some of the leaders. And here is the proper way in my book of doing this. Okay. If you find somebody that you think might be interested, don't prejudge them. Okay. But again, you should be talking to everybody about asking them a favor if you know them, and just say, hey, I'm in a new business. I'm really excited about it. When I was learning about this business, I thought of you. I don't know why you popped up in my head. I think this is something you might be interested in. Would you be willing to give me about 40 minutes of your time? If you will, I'm going to send you a video. I want you to watch it. Let me know when you're done watching it, and I'll give you a call, and we'll just chat for a few minutes. That's the first part. Phase one. Get them a video. The one I recommend for the African market right now is the FFX one that Chris Bailey and I do, or getting them on our lives on Thursday. Either way, get them to a video and get them. And what you're basically doing right there is you're sorting. Okay. When they get done that, okay, that's the first phase. You're going to talk to them, and some people say, nah, I'm not interested in that at all. Okay. And believe them. Okay. Believe them. If they say they're not interested, then move on. If they're still interested, then say, okay, I see you still have some interest in this. What I'd like to do is set up a WhatsApp group or a Telegram group, or whatever way you feel comfortable. I'd like to set up a WhatsApp group with my upline and introduce you. And that can be me, or it can be any leader that you feel comfortable with. You start a WhatsApp group. The WhatsApp group should be you, the prospect, and we'll use me for example. You, the prospect, and me. Okay. When you get, and I've had people do this, they just start it, or they just send me a contact number to somebody and expect me to take it from there. If you were at a party and you were talking to a friend and you saw another friend over the other side of the party, you wouldn't bring your two friends together who've never met each other, have them walk up to each other, and then you would turn and walk away. That wouldn't do it, right? You need the basic protocol is get the three of us on a call, on a WhatsApp call, introduce us to each other, say a little bit about each other, say, hey, Dale's from the United States, he's my upline, a couple of things. It doesn't have to be much, just enough to start a conversation, just like you would. And then do the same thing with the prospect. Say, hey, this is my friend John. Dale, I think he'd be excellent at this business. He's he works as an engineer, and he really understands whatever, just a couple talking points. Okay. And then once you've done that, just step back. You can watch what's going on and let me or the leader just chat with your prospect. And it can be something as simple. I usually start off by saying, hey, tell me something about yourself. Tell me more about yourself. Tell me, are you married? Do you have kids? You do have kids. How many? Boys, girls? And then I say, well, I've got 2 boys, 2 girls, and I've got a grandson. And that's how you create that connection. People become, they when they start seeing you as a person rather as somebody who's trying to maybe sell them something, that's when you get a connection. So you do that, you build a rapport with that WhatsApp group. Once that's done, and you're feeling like you guys get to know each other pretty well, then the next step is to ask them onto a call. Okay, it could be a Zoom call, it could be a phone call, it doesn't matter, depending on where they are and which one will have the better connection. I prefer a Zoom call so I can see them face to face. But if they don't have not in a place with a real good Wi-Fi connection, maybe they'll want to go with a phone. But the bottom line is you've created a rapport with them, but they now know a little bit about you, you know something about them. And then when you start talking to each other, that brings it up to a whole different level. And when you get them on the call, it's for several reasons. It's for more of a personal connection. It's also to answer additional questions they might have. And then after that's all done, it's time to ask, hey, does this sound like something that you'd be interested in? From a number from 1 to 10, with 1 being you don't have any interest at all, to 10 being that you're ready to sign right now. Where are you? And somebody might say, well, I'm a 7. Well, what's it going to take? What do I need to do to get you from a 7 to a 10? What is there more questions I can answer? That type of stuff. So bottom line is, once the closer gets on and is able to talk to them, and it becomes real at that point in time. And the last thing I'll say is, when you get to that point, there's one of 3 things that are going to happen. They see the value in the business and they want to be an affiliate. So let's enroll them. And again, when I said invite them to a Zoom call, I'm talking about you inviting them and the person who invited the person who invited them. So once you get all that said and done, then you can follow up with the person who brought them in and make sure they know, if it's the first time, make sure they know how to enroll them, or you can sit right there on a Zoom call and just walk them through the enrollment, whatever. So that's for the affiliate. Maybe they don't want to be an affiliate, but they want to be a customer. If they want to be a customer, sell them the product. I've had so many people who were so upset because somebody didn't want to be an affiliate, they didn't ask for a sale. And I'll tell you, 40% of the people you talk to aren't going to want to be an affiliate, but they would like to buy something. So ask for the sale. Don't, if you don't ask for it, you're not going to get it. And if they just told you they're interested in the product, ask for the sale. And then the other 40%, and many of you have heard me say this before, the other 40% are going to say, no, they're not interested. If they say they're not interested, this is the whole process I go through. If they say no once, I assume it's because maybe I didn't, and I tell them this, maybe I didn't give you answer all the questions or anything like that. I'm a salesman. Salesmen have to hear the word no twice to stop. Is there anything I can do that could possibly interest you in being an affiliate or a customer? If they say no, there's not. I said, okay, you've told me no twice. Here's the only thing I left. The person who invited you to this call wants to thank you. I want to thank you. We want to thank you for your time. We have one last favor from you. Okay. Everybody knows somebody. You guys say it's almost identical to this. Everybody knows somebody who's working 2 or 3 jobs, who you drive by their home and they're out there working late at night. They're always working. They're always trying to do better by their family. We all know people like that. When I'm describing this, I'm looking at the person's eyes. If I got them on a Zoom call, or if I'm talking to them live, and I can tell the moment they think of that person, their eyes light up. And I say, if you're willing to give me that name, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to treat them with the same integrity and honesty that I did with you. If they tell me, after I've gone through the whole process, if they tell me they're not interested, I will believe them. You will not lose a friend over this. I will treat them the way I treated you, and I'll ask them for a favor. Who do they know? And I'll go through the same process with them. When you take the time to explain this to the person you're asking a referral from, so they know you've just reiterated the fact that they know how they just got treated. They know you didn't try to oversell them. Okay. And you're telling them you're going to treat their friend the same way. They believe you because they've just seen the way you do things. And so they're going to give you names. If you make the mistake of just saying, hey, do you know anybody that might be interested? You won't get anything. You will never get anything. But by doing it the way I just told you, I have done this hundreds and hundreds of times. I have never, ever not gotten a name. Usually I get 2, 3, 4, or 5 names. And if you're constantly getting 2, 3, or 4, or 5 names from every person you talk to that says no, you will never run out of names of people to talk to. when people tell me that I've used up all my names, I don't have anybody else to talk to. I look at them and go, how can that be? You got to listen to one of my trainings, because you will never run out of people as long as you value everybody you've talked to. And now stop and think about this. Last thing I'll tell you, if you talk to 20% of them and they say they want to be affiliates, you're going to be pretty happy, because you're building your team. If you talk to 40% of them that say, I'd like to be a customer, and you sell them a product, you're happy, because you've made money and you've got customers that may buy from you for months and months and years to come. And if they say no, but you do what I just told you to do, and they give you referrals, you've got more people to talk to. That's a win too. So if you do it the way I'm suggesting, you will never walk away from any presentation feeling you lost. And that's the most important thing in the world. You want to have that emotional build, the emotional strength that keeps you going. If you do it this way, and you don't get that, you don't take the no's too seriously, and know that all I know is okay, this is a person I'm not going to sell something to, I'm not going to sign up, but if I do it the way I've been trained, I'm going to get additional referrals to talk to. And remember, those referrals that you're getting, you quantified what you're looking for. You're looking for an entrepreneur, somebody who works multiple jobs. The people they're going to give you are the type of people you're looking for, so it's a win-win-win-win. So add that to everything I said today. I hope everything I said today made sense. I hope you see that we are working really, really hard to make things as easy for you guys as possible. We're evolving in Africa. We're making things better. Some things may take a little while. Okay, there may be some things that some of you will say to me, God, I wish you could get this done sooner. I hope you believe the fact that I'm working diligently to get them done as fast as possible. But I will tell you right now, over these next 4 months, people's lives in Africa are going to change. And remember, everybody you talk to, from your mindset, you're doing them a favor by giving them this opportunity. It's their decision whether or not they watch the video. It's their decision once they watch the video whether they want to go take it further. But you've done your job, because with what we have to offer, everybody who has any desire for a better life is going to see the value in what we have. So having said all that, I hope you guys are fired up about 2023 the way I am. We will have our call. Chris and I will have our call this coming Thursday, so feel free to invite people to the presentation there on FFX. And remember that the 14th of January, I'll remind you next week, but that's when we're going to have our Super Saturday. And I will see you here next week, same time. So let's get out there. Let's talk this up. The only people that aren't going to be somewhat excited about this business are the ones that don't know about it. So it's your job. Let as many people know as possible. Have a great week. Happy New Year. I'll see you next week. Take care.
Dale, thank you for tonight. We appreciate everything that you're doing for us. I wonder if our South African, a few of us can quickly take a few minutes of your time.
Sure.
So we'll appreciate that.
Sure. So if anybody that wants to leave now, feel free to leave, and I'll just leave this up and we can chat. How's that?
Okay.
Does that work, or do you want to schedule a different time?
No. We can just keep on talking.
Okay.
We'll take 10 minutes.
Okay.
More of your time, please.
Very good.
Okay. Yeah.
Anybody that wants to leave, go ahead, and we'll just have the chat. I don't want to hold anybody up that wants to leave. Okay, feel free to get with whatever you got, Jan.
Okay, the first thing is you showed that your back office tonight with the place where you place the orders.
Yeah.
So I don't see that tracking numbers on my back office there.
You don't see tracking numbers, okay?
No tracking numbers. That is why we are a bit confused about it. I can see I've got the invoice and the order, the proof of the order that we ordered, but we don't see any tracking numbers.
Okay.
And I think they are using a shipping company called what is sorry, Aramex. And Aramex in South Africa is terribly slow. I'm importing a lot of things from overseas, because in the natural health market
Sure.
before. So I know that for a fact that DHL is the best company. They are very fast.
It is, but it's
And
very, I'm told it's very expensive.
it's very expensive, but there's no problems. You get your stuff very quickly. But Aramex is terrible in South Africa now. I can tell you that they take 3 weeks or more longer, up to a month, for shipments to get to us.
Okay.
So that is one of the problems I want to mention.
Where is your product coming from? Is it coming from Nigeria?
I can't see. We can't see.
Oh, you
We don't
can't
have
see.
any tracking.
Okay.
No, we can't see. That's why when you said I'm going to the back office and look in my orders is there. It shows the orders and gives you the invoice or the order invoice, but there's no tracking. No, nothing.
Okay.
No tracking.
I wasn't aware of that. I can't see that from my end,
Ah,
but
yeah.
okay.
I saw all the tracking numbers yours tonight, which you showed us.
Okay.
And then the other thing is the Take a Lot thing is still online. We checked it yesterday, and it's still, same lady is still advertising on Take a Lot. So that hasn't been dealt with.
What's being dealt with, but
And-
that, as Chris Baum said, that sometimes takes a while to get taken down.
Yeah.
But I'll bring that back up to him.
Okay. We don't want to make life difficult for you.
No,
But that is really a negative for us, because people in South Africa, Take a Lot is very big, and anyone that wants to buy anything, they go on Take a Lot. That's the first thing. People are so used to online shopping, and then they see that cheaper price, but it leads you to other prices if you go in, but then they've got a mistrust in our company, in our,
Sure.
in MDC.
I do know, and I will follow up with this just like I have, but I do know that if once a process has been done, whoever it is, if they don't take it down, they'll have a hard time getting any. They'll be thrown out of the company. So whatever they have left in stock will be all they'll ever get.
Yeah.
So
I think if we can, what will it take to open a small office in South Africa? What is the process? Do you need space?
Well, again, the small office that I'm working on in Kenya is I'm actually paying for that office. The company won't. Yeah, the company's not going to pay for an office until they see at least $150,000 in sales. So that's the trick. So we do have, I'm working with a 3PL, trying to work with people with a 3PL company, so we have product in stock in country, so it can be delivered. As far as an office, there are people out there that want to open their country for our products, and so they'll start as a stockist. They'll start their own little office, and they'll buy a certain amount of revolving product and do it that way. But
I think maybe that's the way to go. That we try to finance it, to get some products, a batch of products that we have it here, and we can quickly, send it out. And
sure.
That.
Yeah,
So
that's done all around the world in different places where they'll have, somebody will buy $5,000 of the product, and then as it's being and just kind of use that as a revolving delivery system, and then order, and when people order online, it all gets accumulated over, say, a week or so, and then it's all shipped right to that stockist, and the stockist, by that time, the stockist has already delivered the product, so it just keeps the inventory revolving.
Okay.
But I hope to have some sort of set a plan for delivery right out of South Africa here, hopefully within the next month or so.
Okay. Ursula, I don't know if there's anything you want to ask for Stefan. Or
Hi, Dale.
Hi.
Hi, Doc. Some of the ladies that are on the call at the moment, like Elise and Berna, some of their downlines are not displaying on their team. I did ask for the allocation to be moved because by the time we got Rudy Bates's account sorted, he could only then get into the system after the system already allocated left to right. So it's not showing on my downline, but it's also not showing on Berna's downline. And then also Elise, I'm not sure about her sons because they would have done both of those on the same, I had to put it all on the same email. I don't know if
These are the ones you sent to Chris Baum already, right?
yes. So we had problems accessing these accounts. And by the time we got access to the accounts, the system had already allocated them automatically. So I had to get the associate numbers and all of that stuff and send the email. But now I'm trying to understand the method that MDC uses. Okay, so I couldn't allocate them because the system had already done it. So I sent the email. Does Berna have to go down into a holding tank and reallocate them? Are they perhaps in a holding tank? I'm not sure. Berna, have you perhaps checked? Not yet. Okay.
That they may, well, although if it happened, the holding tank at the end of the month, the thing automatically places people if you, because of course commissions are based on the end of the month. So and on top of that, one of the reasons you might not be seeing stuff in the United States, today's a holiday because the New Year's Day fell on a Sunday, Monday's a holiday. So there's some things that might happen tomorrow that didn't happen otherwise. But again, I don't have any control over that. And that's why I was so adamant about the fact, don't use the same IP addresses or credit cards, because as I told you, the Chris Baum was doing us a big favor by what he was doing. And because technically they're not supposed to move people around. But I guess the only thing I can say is I would stay in contact with him on that group you're with, and he'll be back in the office tomorrow, and just tell him what, be very specific but very concise on what the problems are, and see if he can't straighten it out. Because I remember when you talked to him, he said he would turn this over to the people that need to do it. Well, this is all happening during basically a 3-day holiday. so it may have, nobody may have seen it yet. So it might get corrected on its own tomorrow. Who knows?
Okay. Thanks, Del. We'll watch it.
But again, if it isn't, then there's certain things I can help with. There's certain things, if I jump in the middle of, all I'm doing is adding more confusion. And this is one of those where I think you want to stick talking to Chris Baum, and Chris is great. He'll make sure it's taken care of. But once we get through this, and you've got everybody placed the way you want them, and going forward, I think we'll be fine. The IP thing really kind of caused a lot of problems because their computers, like, to give you an example, I signed up somebody the other day from Nigeria using my IP address. And I have done that maybe 2 or 3 times before, but I haven't done it in probably 6 months. So I did it expecting maybe I'd get cut out. Because I don't do it very often, it allowed me to do it no problem. But when it saw you doing, 5 or 6 or 7 of them, bang, 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 that's when the computer kicked in and it kicked you out. So, and it's nobody's fault. You didn't know. Nobody knew. So, but again, either one of two things. You either need to make sure everybody uses their own IP address, or I think if you had a VPN, you could probably pull it off that way and sign up several people using whatever device you have on a specific VPN. So that's another option. Any other questions? Stephen's on here. Stephen, did you have, oh, go ahead. Go ahead, John.
No, I say thank you very much, Dale. We appreciate it.
Stephen is on here. He helps me with a lot of this stuff. Stephen, are you where you could, is there anything you want to add? He might be tied up. Oh, I guess he's tied up. But oh yeah, Stephen Cavillo is on here. He was a country manager, and he helps me with a lot of stuff like this. So
hello.
Oh, there he is. Hi, Stephen.
Hi. I was moving rooms a bit of a disconnection from the Wi-Fi. Hi everyone, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. You've been listening to some of the things that have been going on. Ursula had a challenge when she was signing a lot of people up using the same IP address. If she was to continue doing that and got herself a VPN, would she be able to do that easier?
Yes, she will. Yes, she will. And because the system usually picks IP-based transactions, and if they see there are too many transactions, they have a limit. Say if you do about more than 5, it actually just locks the IP address completely out. So chances are very likely that if she uses an IPN, it will keep on switching every time that a VPN, sorry. If she uses a VPN, that's a virtual private network. Every time that she'll keep on refreshing the page to register a new person, it'll pick a new IP address. Option 2 is to use different handsets or devices to do her registration.
Gotcha.
But never share an email.
That's right. You don't want to share an email. You don't want to share a credit card number.
Very true.
Yeah. But Ursula, I saw you look back at your husband. When he said VPN, that VPN is basically every time that you use it, corporate would see it as they don't see your IP address. They see a different number each time. And that's how several of the leaders in Kenya have done it, is where they've signed up multiple people using a VPN. A VPN costs you something, but I don't think it's all that expensive to get it. But that would be an option for you. Any other questions or comments?
Dale, if you'll allow me.
Sure.
I have quite a number of South African orders on my end. And I think corporate was asking, or rather the last conversation that we had with corporate was that they were asking for tracking numbers, most probably to feed them, because our system is still manual. So chances are very likely that once those tracking numbers are put up, most probably if we have a few orders coming from down south, then most probably they might see them at the back office. Now, problem is, as I've said, and as I've shared with you, it is the movement that is giving us a bit of a challenge, but I think it's something that is being worked on as we speak. Back to you, Dale.
Yeah, Stephen and I spoke just before this meeting, and we're trying to get things solidified within the next 48 hours. So we're working on it, but again, there's a lot of moving parts to that. But I'm glad, Jan, I'm glad you told me that you don't have tracking numbers, because that makes a big difference in how we approach this.
Yeah.
Anything else? All right, then. Again, you guys know I'm available if you have challenges. But again, what I try to train on today on the challenges is don't always, for lack of another word, don't try to cry wolf. Look first yourself in your back office and see if you can find that kind of stuff. If you can't, then make sure you copy the documentation, so when you do give it to us, we have something that we can work with to help you. So having said all that, if there's no other questions or observations, again, we got a few little hurdles, but we're gonna get through them. And if you could see what I see as far as the overall vision for Africa, you'd be giggling as much as I am. So